sun rises over Soweto and a new day begins for the people living in South Africa's largest township. And it's business as usual at Chris Hani Baragwanath Hospital's maternity unit, where nearly 25,000 babies are delivered annually.
About 65 to 70 women deliver here every day. We run this unit which takes referrals from other clinics and other hospitals around the province. And we admit about 100 women every day into the maternity. And those people? No beds. Out of the 70 deliveries, about 20 to 25 will be cesarean sections, and about 45 to 50 will be normal deliveries.
Women in early labour wait on benches for an available bed, but beds are not the only thing in short supply.
Nurses are short in every clinical area in South Africa, not only in maternity. And it's because there's no money. You and 3 moonlighters?
Yeah, and Sister Code, we're only 4.
Okay. That's tough.
That's tough.
Because we should be having about 10. Yeah.
For the nurses and doctors who are on duty, the challenge of finding space is constant.
There are only 4 sisters on duty, so it's difficult. I feel sorry for some of the doctors now because the pressure is enormous on them. And it's really become very tough. And they need to be boosted that they're doing well, because they are. It's incredible what they're doing.
Professor Buchman began his career at Barra in 1989 as a registrar.
Let me tell
He
you
has
what
seen
we
the
need
number
to
of
do
patients increase over the years and sympathises with today's
to
registrars,
see her
like
again
Dr. Sharon Bilunkulu,
in
who has to
the
cope with
most
the
4
enormous
hours.
amount of births.
Delivery pack, vacuum ready. There's labor ward with 20 cubicles. That's where all the women who are in labor are kept, and that's where we progress them and look after them. What's happening with this lady? She's a 19-year-old. This is her first pregnancy. She was booked to have a cesarean section to get the baby out because the baby is getting tired. Now she went to theatre, but they've just brought her back because the baby is just about to come out. And they said she can deliver normally. So I'm going to assess her and deliver her normally. Give me, ma'am. Is that him? Bekisandla sakho la maba nepain cela uvala umlomo bese uphakamisa ikhanda and uyaphusha la ephansi. Delivery pack.
Lorato is young and has not been educated about childbirth, making Sharon's job more difficult. She has been in labour for 36 hours and is exhausted.
Delivery pack. Drip yakho mama. The sisters do most of the delivering. We usually deliver the complicated cases like this one because it was taking a while for the baby to come out and the baby's condition was not well. I had to come in and assist. Try to keep it as quiet as possible. No sound should come out of your mouth. That's the only way the baby is going to come out.
Lack of resources at Barra limits procedures like epidurals. Women who can give birth naturally do so without conventional pain relief.
The women are incredibly patient. They don't have a choice, actually, but if they could be miserable about it, they could be impatient, they could start shouting. Sorry. We're privileged to have patients like this, really.
Push. Ungaphakamisa izinqa. Beka izinqa ephansi. Izinqa ephansi. Push up. Push mama. Nangu umntwana uyaphuma. Push. Pusha nangu umntwana uyaphuma. Push mama. Pusha la ephansi. Ipain ikhona. Awusapushi manje. Push. Well done. Congratulations. Ubuya nini futhi mama? And it looks like a healthy baby, but we'll still take it to the pediatricians regardless. Eh? What's coming out? Wait, leave it. I'll leave it at that. The sister will come and finish up the rest so I can carry on with the round. So that was a happy ending for us.
This hospital, Barra, is trying to do its best for the people of Soweto. Cannot do more than it's doing at the moment, given the resources available.
After a long labour, Lorato's baby is monitored and given oxygen. If there are no further complications, Lorato and her baby will be discharged in just 6 hours to make way for another expectant mother. In addition to the high numbers of babies that are born at Barra, the staff is also struggling with the burden of HIV and AIDS. 3 in 10 pregnant women are HIV positive in South Africa today.
What's 65?
In response to the growing crisis, Barra has established special clinics to deal with expectant mothers who are HIV positive or have AIDS. It is in these clinics where doctors feel the brunt of the disease.
It only involves really sick patients here, patients who need complicated care, obstetrics care. They've got problems with the pregnancies, or they've got diabetes, or they've had pneumonias, or they've had something. The people who are purely pregnant with HIV are actually looked after at the clinics in Soweto. The HIV is bringing in more complications. We're seeing chest infections, kidney infections, things that are specific to HIV, and that is loaded in addition to everything we saw before. And so the load on the hospital is becoming very, very heavy. Who is ready?
Who are the first patients?
As part of her training, Sharon has put in hours at the special antenatal clinics at Barra. Today she works under the supervision of Dr. Jenny Hull, another Barra
was her
veteran.
first visit, and I don't know who saw her.
What's wrong today? This lady is 30-year-old. She's HIV positive and she's been taking treatment now for 2 weeks. Doing fine on the treatment so far. Only complaints today is the fact that she has a flu. She found out that she was HIV positive when she was going to book at a local clinic during her pregnancy.
In South Africa, having HIV presents many contradictions. While about 20% of the population lives with the disease, it is still rare to find people willing to discuss their status openly.
I can't offside because of positive. Positive for how not to be positive.
And she has disclosed her status to her husband. He is understanding of the fact that she's HIV positive, but is currently very scared to go and get tested.
So checky, but only believe you maybe Leona. So maybe reason I encourage a fellow. Maybe I can test a negative and maybe I can change the mind. So now raska check.
I cannot change the mind.
I change on Jerry. I guess no do the mutually positive and negative.
Jenny's next patient has only just learned she's HIV positive. She She was pregnant a year ago and tested negative then. Sister Yvonne is helping Jenny communicate with the young girl.
Does the boyfriend know his status?
He hasn't been to test. Are you sure?
Serious?
Okay, it's the only boyfriend that she had.
Often this is the problem, is that we cannot get the partners to even be tested. They won't be tested. There's a total denial that the men have got anything.
He's not scared. Oh, he says he admits that he's the one that brought it home.
She's not questioning that he's brought it to her. So we've got a major social issue. I think the plea that everyone has is that we shouldn't be getting pregnant until you're in good health. We're doing everything we can to stop the transfer of the virus to the baby during the pregnancy and during delivery. But that in many ways is trying to close the stable door when the horse is halfway out. And I think what we need to be concentrating on is contraception and then getting people into the best state of health that if they do want to plan a baby when they're HIV positive, they can be on treatment, that it's a planned pregnancy. And unfortunately, that is not what is happening. The people who really see the results are the people in the children's department, who see the neglected children, the children with parents who have already died.
Pediatric HIV clinic at Barrow aims to provide holistic care to children and caregivers who come to them for treatment.
At this clinic we've got about 4,000 children on treatment. Most of them are from the surrounding areas. And most of them here are born with the disease. They don't have any say in their care or the management of the disease.
Alison's patient Mpo contracted HIV from her mother. Both arrived at Barrow at a late stage of the disease. Mpo's mum is in an acute care ward, while Alison found a home for Mpo at a nearby hospice. She is brought to the clinic by her hospice caregiver.
Yeah, I think so.
Alison's been treating Mpo with antiretrovirals, or ARVs, and the child has made a remarkable turnaround.
One of the nice things about working in this clinic is that you do see the same patients over and over, so form a relationship with them, and especially when they start to get better, you feel like you've had some small part to play in that.
As a result of her HIV infection, Mpo developed a lesion on her face, which has eaten away her cheek and palate.
Any other problems? The kids are incredible, they just bounce back. Some of them are on treatment for 2 weeks and you can see them just come back to life. She's being followed up at the dental school and they're busy making her an obturator just to block the hole from her nose and making her dentures. And they want to start reconstructive surgery. I think she's well enough now to operate on. Well done. You're so brave, eh?
While ARVs have been available throughout the world since the late 80s, they have only recently been made accessible to those without private health care, despite the fact that South Africa has the highest number of HIV cases in the world.
There was a lot of criticism of the government that the ARV rollout program happened too late. We lagged behind even other African countries. But when the rollout did start, which was in 2004, free antiretrovirals were provided for everyone.
Yes.
And
Megan is treating a young boy whose mother has recently passed away. He's been brought in by his grandmother.
A lot of the children here, the parents may or may not be alive. Often the older kids have lost their parents, and then the grands tend to be the ones who are looking after them.
By 2010, it's predicted sub-Saharan Africa will have about 16 million AIDS orphans, leading to many child-headed households and placing the burden of care on family members left behind.
Do your children, do they know what's wrong with him?
Yes, they know.
And can they help you with medicine and everything?
Yes, they can help me.
All right. So I'm going to write the medicine for you today.
Yes.
And then I want you to go and collect it and come back so we can explain exactly how to give everything.
This is quite a classic example of the mum obviously recently passed away, but Gran wasn't really aware of the treatment or the clinic dates and things. So the child's probably defaulted the ARVs for however long, which is why we try and encourage parents to disclose to people within their family and have a treatment supporter.
Even though Megan sees many children who have lost both parents, she remains positive about her work at the clinic.
To the social worker? When I tell people I work at this clinic, they always say, oh, it must be so depressing. And it's like the absolute opposite. I mean, it's just inspiring. And you can say, we can do something for your child, and your child can live a normal life.
We'll see you next time. All right. Bye-bye.
The Barrow Bridge connects the hospital to Soweto. The hospital and community communicate through a network of social workers. Moses Siobi is one of the pediatric social workers at Barrow.
Early in the morning I'll go and we'll do ward rounds with doctors, discussing cases. And when there are cases with social problems, they refer to me. Cases such as malnourished children, neglected children. And most of the children who come here and mothers are deceased, you'll find out that the fathers are unknown. So that's why
Moses is working on the case of a premature baby, orphaned when her mother passed away shortly after childbirth due to complications from HIV. Moses has approached the baby's aunt, Boniswa, about taking custody of the young girl, rather than putting her up for adoption. Today, Boniswa visits the baby for the first time.
So I have 2 children of my own. They said it's okay, and they even gave her a name. They said she is lonely. It means she's protected.
I enjoy working with people. That's what drove me to do this job. I love this job very much. It's making an impact in someone's life, a positive change in someone's life. So maybe about 10:30.
Before Boniswa can take Landiwe home, Moses must do the proper checks and process the adoption papers.
Since having a child of my own, being a father, I feel protective to children. It has given me a sense of purpose in life because I've got people who are depending on me and who are looking up to me as a role model. The kind of job that I'm doing, it's not just like any other profession. It's like being a pastor. You are dealing with people's emotions, souls, and their well-being. It's like a calling.
Moses leaves Barrow to do a follow-up visit with Boniswa Sitembe at her home.
We are visiting the prospective foster parent of that baby whose parent passed away. So I'm going to her house so that I can compile a report recommending whether it's suitable for the child to be placed in her care.
The Sitembe family live in an average Sowetan suburb in a modest 2-bedroom home, typical of the area. But their situation is also typical of a community that's been devastated by HIV and AIDS. Boniswa and her mother take care of the deceased woman's 2 older children, a nephew, and Boniswa's own 2 daughters. Boniswa's husband is the only one employed in the household.
Sandile. Uyasebenza. Machine operator.
Now I'm getting the information about the family, how many family members are here. But
Moses must be assured that Boniswa and her husband can take on an extra mouth to feed, and that they have a suitable home environment for Landiwe.
I feel she has good intentions at heart. I think that child is going to have a good family.
I'm happy. I'm happy to look after her. I'm happy to raise her.
So what we were supposed to do here is just to refer them to social welfare. But in my cases, I always prefer to follow it up till to the end. I always go the extra mile.
Alison from Harriet Shersey Pediatric HIV Clinic is going to the wards to check on Mpo's mother Grace. While Mpo developed a lesion on her face as a result of her HIV infection, Grace, in turn, contracted multi-drug-resistant tuberculosis. Unlike her daughter, she's not doing well at all.
It's just really sad that we've had her child in treatment since March, and she's only started treatment 2 weeks ago, which could be too late. And she looks like she's not going to last much longer, which is just horrific considering what her daughter's already been through, losing half of her face to this awful disease and possibly losing her mom. And also placement isn't very easy, especially for an HIV-positive child who needs plastic surgery. And it's probably almost impossible to find a home for her. I don't think it's an environment for the faint-hearted. It can get a bit much, especially with kids. By working here, you see that there is hope, and even one person can make a difference. So I think if you aren't involved in the HIV world, you do think that there is nothing good coming out of the whole situation. But working here has definitely been able to keep me positive about the whole thing.
With the Satembi family given the green light for adoption, Boniswa comes to take Landiwe to her new home.
I'm feeling happy. Last I'm taking her at home.
Boniswa is taking on a sick child who requires medication twice daily. But if she can adhere to the treatment, things look hopeful for Landiwe. Unlike so many other children in her predicament, she seems to have defied the odds stacked against her.
I feel happy that the child now has been given a place within the family, and especially the child's relatives, blood relatives. This is what gives me that feeling of fulfillment, that what I'm doing, I actually see the result.
Hey, I'm happy.
I'm happy that that child ended up not being institutionalized. I feel so good about it, and I'm so happy for that child. Thanks. I've done something, I've changed someone's life.